As we mentioned, Pope Francis added 21 new red hats to the College of Cardinals. There are now 253 members of that college, with 140 eligible to vote in the next conclave. But how well do we know these men? And how well do these men know each other? Here to tell us about the new project he's working on to facilitate this getting-to-know-you process is senior correspondent at the National Catholic Register, Edward Pentin. Ed, tell me about this new project you're collaborating on. It's called the College of Cardinals Report, and it's a web-based expansion of your book, The Next Pope. Why update it now?
Yes, exactly, Raymond. Well, this whole project really came to fruition, the book, first of all, but now this, because we got so many requests from cardinals and others saying that they wanted this kind of resource so that they could know who the cardinals are and where they stand on particular issues, and to have a sort of website, an interactive website to do that. And this is the first ever project, really, that has a sort of interactive element where you can filter cardinals according to whatever who appointed them and what nation and so forth. We have a map, an interactive map, where you can have a statistical breakdown of geographically where they are. But perhaps probably the most and also we have a table of contents where you can, for the 40 in-depth cardinals that 40 profiles that we covered in depth, that you can actually see through this table where they stand on particular issues. And we have, as I say, 40 in-depth profiles. Yeah.
As I mentioned in the intro, Ed, the college keeps growing, and the men who will elect the next pope know very little about each other. How does the College of Cardinals report seek to alleviate that problem?
Yes, well, as I say, the fact that we have 40 in-depth profiles, Raymond, so we have a lot of detail on these 40 cardinals, many of whom are papabili, as we say. They're eligible to be pope. And we have summary profiles of all the other ones. But what's really a novelty about this site, we think, is that it's interactive in many different ways. Not only can you sort of find filter different cardinals according to their location and so forth, and use a map and get a geographical breakdown, statistical breakdown of the cardinals, but we're also inviting readers to submit any amendments or additions so that we can, keep the content live, as it were, and make it truly interactive, so that the faithful and cardinals themselves can chip in and improve the profile, make it more a fuller profile, if you like. So, and they'll all be vetted, and we'll keep it as accurate as we can, and we're hopefully very accurate.
So this is kind of like your own little Wikipedia breakdown of these cardinals. I'm worried about community notes starting to be fired at you, Ed, but I'm glad you're editing this and this isn't, subject to outside manipulation. You're working with independent journalist Diane Montagna, along with the Sophia Institute Press. Tell us about the technical aspects of the site. How will this information be organized? Give us a sense. I know you've got cross-references like crazy.
Yes, exactly, and everything's a lot of it's hyperlinked. But we have yes, this each category is, you can, as I say, you can filter the cardinals according to their age, their nationality, who made them cardinal, and so forth. And we have, as I say, this table of 10 different core issues that are very important today, certainly very topical today. And you can see where each cardinal stands on those issues with the color-coded table. And we hope to obviously increase that as time goes on. We have, I think, 22 or more perhaps who are on that table. No, we have 40, sorry, 40 we have there. But we hope to increase it to as many of the cardinal electors, at least, as we can, and that's up to 140 now.
Ed, if you were handicapping the top cardinals to watch, they would be whom? Give me your top three.
Yes, I mean, I never like to make these predictions because, as we know, it's a real lottery. But I think it's interesting to see who the emerging ones are, and certainly we have Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzaballa, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem. He's certainly up and coming. He's only 58 now, so he's probably too young to be seriously considered, but he is certainly somebody who's coming up through the ranks. There's also Cardinal Jean-Marc Aveline of Marseille, who's known as the Pope's favorite. And he's sort of emerging as also another leading candidate. I think he's in his mid-60s. So probably about the right age, if you like. And then we have Cardinal Ambongo, Fridolin Ambongo of Kinshasa, who's also rising up through the ranks as a sort of new African cardinal hopeful, as Cardinal Sarah was for many years, but some think that he's getting a little too old now to be seriously considered Pope. But Cardinal Ambongo is seen as somebody who's certainly emerging as a strong contender.
And Cardinal Erdo, I noticed you had on your homepage of the site.
Yes,
who's, been talked about for a long time.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, you've got these candidates who've been talked about for some years now. Cardinal Erdo is one of them. Yes, and of course Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Secretary of State at the Vatican. He's another one. And there are quite a few different candidates out there who've been in the rank, who've been in the making of Papabli, being seen as Papabli for some time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ed, I like that it's a quick digest, and you can read these sort of amended bios of these men. That also takes into consideration their view on certain theological controversies, their liturgical tastes. It's kind of a one-stop shop and a very convenient tool, certainly for these cardinals, but also for the general public, for the general Catholic looking in on the process. Ed, we'll leave it there. You can find the College of Cardinals report at collegeofcardinalsreport.com. Thank you, Ed.